Good day everyone, this is Nia Jane Sirioke from BA Psychology Section B. And today we're going to tackle about the indigenous research methods evaluating first returns. Psychology has been identified with the Europeans and later with the American world. Also, psychology is so synonymous with the West that until recently, it seemed only natural and quite right for non-European, non-American psychologists to view their own countrymen using a Western conceptual framework. The underlying rationale for this practice of borrowing seemed to be that since behavior is essentially universal, the rules governing behavior that were formulated in the West must also apply to behavior of people in other parts of the world. Universality was thus used to refer not to the essence of behavior, but to the applicability of Western formulation. Moreover, in the Philippines, the emphasis on developing an indigenous Philippine psychology has been made by a growing number of psychologists. Also, as pointed out by Enriquez, it is by understanding each culture's psychology based on indigenous models and methods that we can arrive at a scientific, truly universal psychology. A review of local studies. The 8 methods suggested by Santiago and Enriquez have been the basis of recent preliminary researches compiled by PE on Filipino traditions and customs. What follows then is an analysis of the first returns that includes the underlying assumptions of these methods, a summary of the methods most often used as well as the level of interaction, or pagtutunguhan, attained by researcher and subject, reactions of the researchers to the methods used and the data obtained, suggestions at strengthening these methods under possible future uses. Assumptions in using indigenous methods. The following methods are based on certain and related implicit assumptions. The first one is to know the Filipino, including his developmental process, personality, relationships with others, daily activities, motives, values and traditions, perception, beliefs and attitudes, goals, the unique social institutions he built as an expression of his character. Then the researcher has to move away from the city to the rural and semi-rural communities where the majority of the Filipino reside. The second one is unsophisticated techniques that are suited to the Filipinos' traditional lifestyle and values will provide more reliable data than structured methods that may be alien to the subjects and thus produce biased results. And lastly, the third one is Philippine psychology is not yet ready for hypothesis testing but is still at the stage of gathering information toward making testable hypotheses about Filipino personality and society. The rural Filipino as a rich source of information on Filipino personality and society has only begun to be discovered. It is fortunate that indigenous methods including pagmamasid, pakikiramdam, pagsubok, pagdalaw-dalaw, pakikialam, pakikilahok, pakikisangkot, and their variations direct our research efforts as psychologists to this source and serve as the means for obtaining fruitful data.